Welcome back for another edition of Math with Gilbert. And today we're going to be going over adding and subtracting positive and negative decimals. Decimals are something that you guys should be comfortable with. They're something that you guys should have done last year in sixth grade and fifth grade, adding and subtracting. But today we are going to be doing a little bit more than that. We're going to be throwing in some negative numbers. So what you should be doing is following along, pausing the video if I go too fast, and writing these notes down in your notebook, journal, something like that. So let's go ahead and we will get started. Adding, subtracting positive and negative decimals. The very first thing you're going to want to do is make sure we're following our rules for addition and subtraction. That means you don't want to mix up your multiplication and division of integer rules. Make sure you keep those separate. That's some of the biggest mistakes is that students mix up the addition and subtraction with integer rules with the multiplication and division. So understand that this is for addition and subtraction. And you can use a scoreboard method. Some students may not need it, but the scoreboard method, as you'll see in questions 2, 3, and 4, it's a great idea. It can really help organize your thoughts, but if you don't need it, fine. So after we follow those rules, we are going to want to add and subtract our numbers, but don't forget you must line up your decimals. If you do not line up the decimals, you will get the incorrect answer, and you'll see exactly what that looks like here in a second. And for the third step, you want to follow your addition and subtraction rules and bring your decimals straight down. Bring your decimals straight down for your answer. So example number 1 says 5.36 minus 1.041. Pretty straightforward. This is going to be a warm-up to kind of jog your memory of how to subtract with decimals. So our first number is 5.36. It's our biggest number. Remember, the biggest number goes on top, not just the first number, but the biggest one, minus 1.041. I want to line my decimal up. 1.041. And I'm going to follow my subtraction rules. Now, there's nothing here, so I can put a 0 right here if I want to. I'll go ahead and put the 0 there. I'll put it in black so you know that it's not part of the original number. And from here, I'm going to follow my subtraction rules. Now, I can't do 0 minus 1. I can't just put a 1 here. Some students put a 1 there every year at the beginning of the year because they forget. But you can't just put a 1 there. You have to take away 1 from 0, but you can't do that. So I have to borrow from the 6. So this 6 will turn into a 5, and we're going to borrow 10. So the 0 turns into a 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 5 minus 4 is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. 5 minus 1 is 4. And I'm going to bring my decimals straight down. They stay in a straight line. So my answer here is 4.339. 4.339. Now we're going to get into a little bit more positive and negative numbers. So here we have negative 9.872 plus 8.15. And we're going to go ahead and use the scoreboard method here. Each one of these numbers belongs in a team. We've got the positive team and the negative team. 9.872, the sign that's in front of it, not the sign that's behind it, but the sign that's in front of it, is a negative. So that belongs to the negative team, 9.872. Over here, 8.15, the sign that's in front of that is positive. So that belongs on the positive team. So we can tell right away by looking at it which team won, the positives or the negatives. The negatives won. They have a bigger number. They have more points. So therefore, my answer, I should already know right away, is going to be a negative answer. So I'm going to take these numbers and I'm going to find the difference. How much did the negative team win by? Which means I'm going to have to subtract. The bigger number, not longer, but the bigger in value, the number with the higher absolute value always goes on top. So 9.872 minus, don't forget to line your decimals up, 8.15. There's no number here, so it's like nothing. So I can make it a 0 or I could leave it blank. go ahead and make it a 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. 8 minus 1 is 7. And 9 minus 8 is 1. Do not forget to bring your decimal straight down in a straight line. My answer is 1.722. 1.722. And the winning team gets the sign that goes in front of that number. So the winning team was negative. My answer is negative 1.722. All right, we're going to move on. Here we have negative 0.958 minus 1.102. If you want to stop, pause the video, and see if you can solve this on your own, go ahead. For those of you that are going to continue to work with me, go ahead and make your scoreboard. We have positive team and a negative team. So let's look at the number in front. 0.958. Is that a positive number or a negative number? We're going to look at the sign that's in front. It is a negative number. 0.958. The next number, 1.102, we're going to look at the sign that's in front. It is a negative sign. So we're going to put on the negative score, negative side, 1.102. Do we have any numbers that are positive? No. The positive team has no numbers in our equation that are positive. So they have nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to tally up the negative answers or the negative points. So which team won? Which team has more points? Again, negative does. Positive team has nothing. So we're going to go ahead and take our numbers, 0.958, line our decimals up, 1.102, and this time, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to actually add them together. We're going to get the total points for the negative team since the positive team has nothing. So we have to add and find out how much they beat the positive by. So even though there's no positives in our equation, we're actually going to be adding the numbers together. So 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry the 1. There's the 0. 5, 1, and 0 make 6. 9 and 1 make 10 again. So carry the 1, add a 0. And 1, 0, and 1 make 2. Don't forget your decimal. The number that I get is 2.060. So my answer, because the negative team won, is negative 2.06. I do not need to put that last 0. It's not important. The answer is negative 2.06. We have one more example. Negative 5.3 minus negative 8.1. This one's got a lot of negative signs in it. So we're going to go ahead, get our scoreboard. I'm going to go ahead and make that black. Get our scoreboard. Positive team and a negative team. And we're going to look at this equation. Now, it's got this thing right here, these two negatives in a row. Now, hopefully earlier from another video, you should have learned that anytime we have two negative signs or a negative sign and a subtraction sign back to back with nothing in between them, two negatives will make a positive. So I'm going to rewrite this equation. The equation actually reads negative 5.3, and these two negatives, they make a positive plus 8.1. I've rewritten my equation, and this is this is now the correct equation I want to be looking at. I've simplified it by getting rid of those two negatives. And I can put those numbers into my scoreboard now. 5.3 belongs on the negative team. And 8.1 belongs on the positive team. So which team won? Well, this time the positives won. They've got more points. How much did they win by? I want to find the difference. So I'm going to take 8.1 and subtract 5.3. Don't forget to line your decimals up. I cannot subtract 3 from 1, so I need to borrow from the 8, turns into a 7. This 1 is now an 11. 11 minus 3, 11, 10, 9, 8. 7 minus 5 is 2, and do not forget to bring your decimal straight down. 2.8 and 2.8 belongs on the winning team. The positives won by 2.8. That is your answer. Good luck. I hope I could help you today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact one of us math teachers or schedule a tutoring. Have a good day.